Hello again, welcome back. This is the second little video I'm doing after the week break while we were in California for our granddaughter's graduation. And I hope you've had a chance to listen to the first one and watch the short little less than 4-minute video on D-Day, which was June 6, 1944, and today is June 6th. But this one is one of my regular biblical or the God on my mind quickies. And I'm reading it out of my home and study Bible. It's from Romans 12, verses 17 through 21, and it's the study notes. But before I get into it, I want to say thank you again. Thank you so much for subscribers. Hi, newbies. If you like it, subscribe. And for all of you, if you like it, hit that share and like button and share the God on my mind words. So I'm reading not all of the notes out of this, but I'm going to read part of it. It says, Christians are called to serve and minister God's grace to a lost and hostile world. Jesus is our model. As much as possible, we are to live peaceably with all men. God is the sovereign who can convert even a Saul who persecuted the church. God is the judge and the administrator of wrath. Our role is to display God's grace and love in our lives. God and Jesus conquered evil on the cross. We are not to let evil conquer us. And what got me was the part that says our role is to display God's grace and love in our lives. Because while we were down in California visiting with my son and his wife and our granddaughter, it was brought up that we were going to be going somewhere. It was somewhere special to me. And my son had mentioned that he had told somebody that we were going. And he kind of got the idea that that person would want to go and might show up. And my first reaction wasn't Christian. I was ticked off because I didn't want that person there. I didn't think that person had a right or deserved to be there. I didn't want that person there. And I had my reasons, and I have my reasons. And are those valid reasons? Yeah, they probably are. But I wasn't displaying God's grace and love in my life to others. And my son can sometimes be a Christian, but for a lot of times he's like, doesn't want to hear it. And what I could have given him was the opportunity to say, well, if this is what it's like to be a Christian, I don't want any part of it. Because he basically said to me, well, I don't understand why you feel like that. I don't. And I got that. He doesn't, because he hasn't had the experience that I have with that person. But that's not the point. And I started thinking about it, and I said, when I got back, when I was reading this, I went, oh, yeah, I'm hearing low, And it dawned on me that I used to pray for this person all the time. I used to pray, Lord, pray for the salvation, pray for blessings, pray for protection, provisions, just that whole thing. And I've said this before, and it's true. When you pray for somebody that you have ill feelings towards, you don't like them, you can say, I hate them, I don't want anything to do with them, whatever. But when you pray for God's blessings on that person. I don't know whether that person gets the blessings or not. I don't know. But what I do know is it changes me. It changes my attitude. It changes my thinking and feelings for that person, because then I find I really, really, really do want all those good things for that person. And there's no, the hate and the animosity is not there, because I really do want those things for that person. And I, for a long time, I haven't been praying for that person. Not that I deliberately said I'm not going to pray for this person anymore because I want this person. That's not it. There were just so many other things to pray for, and not just about me. I'm not saying, oh Lord, I've got so much I want that I need you to do. I don't have time for you to I don't have time to pray for other people because I'm so busy praying for me. That's not it. I was praying, yes, praying for my issues and praying for my family, but I was praying for other things too. I was praying for the church, I was praying for the state, I was praying for the country, and I was praying for all the prayer requests that come through. And I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me, I'm a holy roller. I'm just saying that it wasn't a conscious, deliberate, I'm not praying for her anymore, or him or her or whatever, because but I don't want good things for her, like Jonah and the whale. I don't want good things. And that wasn't it. She slipped in importance, I guess, because those other things were they were front and foremost. So I was praying for them. But because I stopped praying for her, my heart took that downward slope. My attitude took that downward slope. And I was back at ground level, square one, where I was thinking, these are the reasons I don't want her here. These are the reasons I don't want this. These are the reasons I don't want him here. I don't want these are the reasons. Okay. So I had to sit there and say, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm really, really, really sorry. So don't learn by school of hard knocks, maybe learn from other people's school of hard knocks. But it is so true. Our role is to display God's grace and love in our lives. And you can't display grace and love in your life when there's anger. Maybe it's because of hurt. Maybe it's justified. But we can't be what God wants us to be. We can't show the world what God wants us to show about him. We're giving the world a wrong view, or we're encouraging the world's wrong view, or we're giving them the right to say, see, they say all of this, but that ain't what it really is, because look, and that's not what God asks us to do. God and Jesus conquered evil on the cross. We're not to let evil conquer us. So thanks for listening. I'm sorry, Lord. Forgive my sin and all my sins. May you guys have a blessed day. If you like it and share it. Thanks. Until next time, bye.